Welcome to Should You Platinum, a show where I talk about a game I've recently got the platinum in and share my experience of the platinum journey and whether or not I think you should platinum it. In today's episode, I'm going to be looking at LEGO 2K Drive on PS4 and PS5. So, should you platinum LEGO 2K Drive? Well, after unlocking all 39 trophies, I'd have to say no. So, in this video, I'm going to highlight some of the reasons why you should simply play it and not platinum it. So, LEGO 2K Drive is a kart racer that's more similar to Sonic Racing Transformed than Mario Kart in my opinion, but the racing part of the game is really only about 25% of the game, as you will spend the majority of your platinum journey in the game's open world maps, gathering collectibles, completing side quests, and beating challenges. In terms of the trophies, there's really only one difficult trophy in the game, and that's for getting gold on all of the 78 on-the-go events that are scattered throughout the game's open world areas. These events include a mixture of time trials, drift challenges, races with restrictions like not smashing any fences, and miscellaneous tasks like pushing a giant egg downhill to the farm below. It's the hardest trophy in the game, and one that seems to go up and down in terms of difficulty, depending on which of the on-the-go events you are playing. The races and time trials aren't too bad for the most part, though there are one or two real stinkers thrown in there that you'll need to be aware of. The one-leaf clover race required me to do 3 laps of this simple looking circuit, yet the time of 18 seconds for gold was just, well, it was just ridiculous, and I was here for a good hour or so before I finally bested that time. You need to use the rocket boost and also drift around the corners to hit objects so that you can refill the meter and use that super boost again on another lap in order to do all of this in time. But that is really tricky, making this one of the hardest on-the-go events in the game. If you can do this one, you can do all the others. The Conjuring Trophy was also another BS one, as this one required you to do 2 laps of this circuit whilst avoiding all of the cones that are placed to the left and right sides of the track. If you were to hit some of these cones, they'll add more time on to your timer, so you can really only hit about 10 to 20 before that'll push you over the gold time limit. Annoyingly, there's also these things that fly around the track that seem to carry a whole bunch of cones, so if you're unfortunate enough to hit one of them despite doing a perfect run, it can easily be game over, as that'll add a good 10 seconds of time on, which sucks. To do this one, you have to be near perfect here, with everything from your speed to your drifts, the boosts you make and the cornering you take in order to get this one. And yeah, it just really sucked, and it felt really unfair with the cones and those ones that fly around and add on even more time if you hit them. So while those events were hard, the single biggest frustration with this trophy for me was the drift challenges, as they were often always really unforgiving and required high drift score amounts in order to get gold, meaning I'd have to replay these over and over again before I finally got the hang of the drifting and beat the challenge. And whenever I would see one of these in the open world, I'd know I'd be in for the same BS all over again on this next one. So some of the particularly annoying ones were Up a Creek, which puts you in a boat, and this was really the very first tough one that I came across, as the more I drifted, the slower the boat went, and I'd never have enough time left to get to the finish line. And for me, that's what made these drift challenges hard and BS, as you can get enough points with your drifts, but if you don't cross the finish line before the time runs out, you just instantly fail, and some are just way too tight. The Woodland Weave was another annoying drift event that took me a while too. This time you're on the dirt roads, but again, trying to keep up enough speed and get enough drifts going to reach the gold rank just seemed overly harsh. After all, this is a kid's game, and when you have challenges that are stupidly easy, like the Drifter World one minute, and then dumbfoundingly hard the next, like these ones, it just really doesn't make sense to me. Have a consistent difficulty curve, not just these awful spikes. There's one online multiplayer trophy for playing 10 races online, but I'd say you either need 2 controllers or a friend to help you with the Missile Misser trophy, as you need to avoid 100 missiles by jumping over them. Trying to do this offline against the CPU is going to be an RNG pain, and after beating the story, I'd only done it 8 times naturally, so to save time, have a friend or an extra pad handy. Aside from those trophies, the only other ones that you need to worry about are the 3K and 6K drive trophies. The 6K drive trophy is horrendous, and it should never, ever have been included in the game's trophy list. Its inclusion honestly just felt like a big FU to all of the game's player base that want to earn the Platinum Trophy in LEGO 2K Drive, as this trophy does nothing but just waste your time with its huge grind to reach the required 6,000 miles driven to unlock this dumb trophy. Ugh, it's like the devs took a page out of Codemaster's trophy list booklet and decided to include an obnoxiously over-the-top trophy that requires you to drive for way too many miles, far and beyond past the amount that you'll drive when completing all of the other content that the game has to offer. So what's the point of this one? After beating the story, gathering all of the collectibles, playing online, and unlocking all of the other trophies in the game, I was still only sitting at around 1,500 km driven, so I still had a good 8,000 km to go before I'd get the 6K drive trophy. Yet now I've got nothing in the game world to do other than to just replay the same races over and over again to try and clock up more miles. It's just disgusting that they expect you to do this many miles when the game doesn't have enough content to justify that extreme amount. I mean, why is it even 6K in the first place? Annoyingly, there's already a 3K drive trophy for half of that amount, which was still double what I had driven after beating the game and all of the other things in it, so surely that would have been enough for them. I mean, that would still have been annoying, but surely that should have been enough. They should have thought, yeah, that's plenty of miles there, and even more on top of what they would do anyway. But no, they didn't stop there. Just, for me, the devs really took the pee with this one, and it meant that I had to do hundreds of laps on the test drive track to slowly build up my miles using an infinite boost. And when that got boring, which happened pretty quickly, and I realised how slow that was, I went with the AFK method of entering a race and putting a rubber band around my controller to make the car constantly drive off the edge of the track and respawn, and just repeat that over and over to slowly build up the more miles driven. And you know what? I left the game running like this for several nights to build up my miles, and I reckon in total it was AFK for around 20 hours, so that's about 20 hours if not more of doing this just for this trophy after beating the rest of the game. And if that doesn't show you how BS the requirement is for this annoying trophy, then I don't know what will. So yeah, I got the awards wrong. This was the most annoying trophy of 2023, as these are complete BS and will be a platinum blocker for most. Without them, you could platinum this game in about 20 to 30 hours quicker, as these are just a ridiculous grind to have you drive 6,000 miles. If you beat the story, play online, and get every other trophy in the game, you'll likely still only be at 1.5 miles driven, so you can see it's a big, obnoxious grind. The rest of the game's list is fairly simple, as the remaining trophies just require you to beat the game's story and then just clear out all of the collectibles and events across all of the maps, and you'll get a trophy every time you do that. There was only really one glitched trophy when I played the game, and that was the experience trophy for reaching level 30, because if you did it whilst in a race, you wouldn't actually get the XP to push you over to 30 and pop the trophy. This has, however, been fixed since then, so if you're playing on patch 1.014, which is the PS4 version, then you don't need to worry about it, as this will unlock correctly now. Just in case though, I would suggest you making a backup of your save just before you hit the maximum level 30. So now I'm just going to briefly show the remaining trophies in the game, and I will just add comments if I feel the need to explain something or give you a tip to help you unlock them more easily. This trophy requires you to use all power-ups at least once, and most of these are found in the races just scattered around the track as you play. However, I did find that one of them didn't show up in any of the races I played, and I had to find it here at this location. So if you are struggling to get this trophy, try and come here and use this power-up in this alleyway, and you should get the trophy. You can also set up custom races with what power-ups you want to put in, so you can always do it that way as well. This is another collectible trophy that's quite annoying, as it requires you to stop and talk to 150 townsfolk, and you can't just talk to the same person 150 times and pop this trophy, and I think it actually has to be 150 unique people. Now on PS5, the trophy tracker for this didn't work right about halfway through, so I thought the trophy glitched, but just keep talking to everyone that you come across by pushing in the L3 stick when you park up near them and chat to them, and eventually you should get this trophy. This was a really annoying collectible trophy, as it was tied to a mission where you had to cut all of the weed patches throughout all of the maps, and you can track the trophy on the map screen to see how many weed patches you've got, and some of them take ages because there's so many weeds to take out of one patch, and it's just a really long-winded and annoying trophy. You also need to make sure you get this lawnmower before you can even do the mission, so yeah, this is a really annoying one that I didn't like doing, as it went on far too long. So this trophy requires you to buy 50 vehicles for just the start trophy. So you'll get most of your vehicles from races and completing quests, as they will often reward you with different vehicles. However, you'll still end up coming up short at the end of the game, so you will have to buy some from the shops. So just use all of those coins that you've earned from races to buy the cheapest cars available for like 1,000 or 2,000 coins, and then you should get the trophy. But be aware, you have to come out of the garage for the trophy to pop. Same with the 15 drivers. This trophy is a bit obscure because it requires you to complete the go-kart tutorial in the body shop garage thing. So when you go in here, you can sort of test drive vehicles, but there's also tutorials that you can access, and it basically just shows you how to build the go-kart. So just follow all of the tutorials, and once you've got to the very end of it, the trophy will pop. But yeah, you've kind of got to go looking for this one because it doesn't sort of it's not really a mandatory tutorial. Doing a 1080 in the air without touching the ground is really hard, and most vehicles you won't be able to turn around quick enough, so you need to wait until you can buy or win one of the plane cars. Just equip that and then go to this location here on the airfield bit. It's the long strip on this map. You'll easily be able to spot it, and then just go up in the air with that off that ramp, and you'll notice that these plane cars just rotate in the air really quickly, allowing you to easily get a 1080. So yeah, you're looking at around 60 to 80 hours to platinum this game, and nearly half of that time will be spent grinding for the 6k drive trophy, which makes this a rather dull and annoyingly grindy platinum journey. The open world stuff in LEGO 2K Drive is fun, despite the difficulty spikes with the on-the-go events, and the collectathon nature of the game and just clearing out every single map. And I did actually enjoy the racing parts of the game. It's just a shame that there was just so little of it compared to everything else you have to do. For me, LEGO 2K Drive is a really fun racing game, and it's fun to play, but its collectathon gameplay with the open world stuff and the horrendously grindy 6K Drive trophies did start to sour that platinum experience, which is why I'd suggest you simply play it and avoid trying to go for the platinum. It's one that's just worthy of a rental or picking it up when it's free on PlayStation Plus, which at the time of this video it currently is. That's how I played this game, and while I did enjoy playing it, I did kind of regret platinuming it once I'd finally gotten it because of that huge grind for the 6K Drive trophy. So yeah, that is my thoughts on this game. Thank you very much for watching, and let me know if you've platinumed this game and how you found it in the comments below. See you next time.